Alright, we're live. Let me go ahead and tweet out that we're live. And mention it. Okay, and used secret knowledge to become first. Congratulations on being first. Okay. But is it time to be the bone of your sword? Let's find out. You struck a first-gen bargain. Kind of like a fast-gen bargain, but a first-gen bargain. I got you. I got you. You like striking fast-gen bargains, don't you, Squidward? Don't you, Squidward? You sold your soul. The devil. I see, I see. That makes sense. It also makes sense that I should probably change the size of this window so I can actually see chat. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then, oh. Oh dear. Better. Okay. Devil. Jesus Christ. Oh lord. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. What I am worried about is the fact that an ad started already. Lord. We're good. We're good. Devil. You're hurting me now. Alright. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. So, we are once again fading it up. There's, I guess, we're gonna go ahead and start a new game here. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades. Unknown to death, nor known to life, have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet those hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. When I came to, I was lying in a burning field. It must have been a big fire. I am both fading and staying. Tonight. The familiar town was an unrecognizable, smoking ruin. It looked like a scene from a war movie. The sight didn't last long, though. As morning dawned, the fires gradually died down, in a renewed and refreshed way. Oh, I never moved my giant face! Good call. Honestly, I would have forgotten. Honest to God. Oh man, unlimited tube works. Okay. The towering walls of flame shrunk to embers, and most of the buildings looked to have collapsed. It felt so strange, being the only unchanged thing in the town. I was the only one left alive. I was either fortunate, or the house I'd been inside was built on the luckiest ground of all time. Either way, I was the only one alive. Since I'd survived, I felt I needed to keep on living. I walked aimlessly, thinking it would be dangerous to remain where I was. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid becoming what had happened to everyone around me. Those scorched, blackened masses. It wasn't a feeling of disgust. Some other emotion was driving me on. At the same time, I had no hope. It was a miracle that I was alive at all, and I didn't think I was going to last much longer. There was just no way in hell I was going to survive. There was simply no way I would ever escape this crimson hellscape, no matter what I did. That was how desperate, how hellish this place was, even through the eyes of a young boy. And then I collapsed. Either there was no air around me, or I simply couldn't breathe anymore. I just collapsed, and all I could do was to look up at the slowly clouding sky. The scorched black masses around me lay motionless. The dark clouds covered the sky, promising rain. Good. The rain will put out the fires. I took one final deep breath and looked up at the rain clouds. I couldn't breathe, but I still felt pain. I said that out loud, on behalf of all those people who couldn't say those words themselves. That was 10 years ago. Miraculously, in the midst of all that, I was saved. My physical body survived, but everything else was scorched, reduced to ash. When a young child loses their parents or their home, there's really nothing left of them. And so, everything other than my body perished. Put as simply as possible, in exchange for my body living, my heart died. I'm dreaming. I squinted, seeing a bright white light. It was blinding. Light stabbed at my eyes when I woke. I doubt I really knew what the sensation of blinding light was in the first place. Huh? What? As my eyes adjusted, I woke, alarmed. I was lying in a bed I didn't Yeah, I can hydrate. I can do that. Oof. Yes, woke. I know. It's a word. And because I have such a strong moral code, you could say I'm a woke moralist. Thank you for the hydrate, Tui. I was lying in a bed I didn't recognize. In a room I didn't recognize. I was honestly stunned, but the cleanliness of the white room made me feel at ease. Where am I? I looked blankly at my surroundings. The room was spacious. Beds lined it in neat rows. All the beds were full, and it looked like each bed's occupant was injured. But the room didn't feel depressing at all. Everyone injured survived. I let my eyes wander. I looked out the window. The clear blue sky was so incredibly beautiful. A few days passed, and I was finally able to drink some more water. Thank you for the hydrate. And I was finally able to take in the situation. I had no problem remembering what happened the days before. But I wasn't much different from a newborn during this time. A 1K redeem that makes you chug your glass, it would have to be a lot more than 1K. Maybe like 5K. Strange as it is, that was closer to the truth than might seem possible. The fire was just that bad. I was rescued from the fire, woke in a hospital. My parents were gone, and my entire body was wrapped in bandages. Oh, how big is the... Oh, currently it's a water bottle that I had left over, so... about that big. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I did know that I was alone. It didn't take long for me to accept my circumstances. Maybe I had no choice, really. All the other children were in the same boat. And then, later, in the moment, I, naive as I was, started to worry about what would become of me. He walked in. He appeared the day my bandages came off and I started eating on my own. His hair was disheveled, his suit tattered. He looked a bit younger than my doctor. He looked more like someone's older brother than someone's father. Hello. You must be Shiro. His beaming smile seemed to blend into the pouring white sunlight. His voice was somehow irritatingly fake, yet extremely gentle. I'll come right to it. Would you rather go to an orphanage, or go home with a man you just met? He was offering to take me in. I asked if we were related. He said we were complete strangers. He looked like an unremarkable, unreliable guy. But then again, he was no more or less familiar than the orphanage. So I decided I'd go with him. Good. Then let's pack up quickly. It'd be best if you got used to your new home as soon as possible. He started gathering my things hastily. Even as young as I was, I could see he wasn't any good at it. After he made a mess packing... I forgot to mention one important thing. Before you come with me, there's one thing you need to know. He turned, asking for confirmation. He asked so casually, as if asking me if there was somewhere I wanted to go. Yep. Let me be direct with you. I'm a magician. He said it in a serious, almost ceremonious manner. It happened so fast. I think back. I was also immature. I just accepted his words as fact. I took it neither as a joke or a genuine statement. Really? That's so cool, Pops. I guess I said something like that, eyes wide in astonishment. And I was his child. Actually, I don't really remember how that conversation went. But every now and then, my old man would bring it up. He would recount the scene over and over, acting all embarrassed. That scene might have been the happiest day of my old man, a man named Kiritsugu Emiya's, life. You can say that it was one thing for him to tell a recently orphaned kid he was a magician, but I was no better, the way I so eagerly bought into it. And that was how my old man adopted me, and how I took the last name Emiya. Shiro Emiya. When I said that name out loud, I felt really proud of having the same last name as Kiritsugu. I'm dreaming. It's from my childhood. It's probably about 8 years ago, since about the time when I talked my old man into making me his apprentice. Kiritsugu had started going away on a regular basis once I was old enough to stay home by myself. He'd always give some childish, unbelievable explanation like, I'm going to go on an adventure around the world. Then he'd actually do it. From then on, that's how it always was. It wasn't unusual for him to be gone for a month, and at times, he didn't come home for half a year. The Emiya Mansion is an expensive Japanese samurai-style house, and Kuretsugu and I were the only ones living there. It felt too big and empty for a child like me, and at times I felt lost. But I liked my life there. Whenever Kuretsugu came home from his trips, he would brag and tell stories like an excited child. Hi, Guadaman! I'm currently playing through Fate Stay Night Remastered. It's the definitive release of one of the most formative visual novels of all time. Came out in 2004. Originally an eroge, but every release after that on the PlayStation 2 and later replaced the spicy bits with better written story bits. So that gives you context. It's also a good reminder for people who are just coming in now. Whenever Kuretsugu came home from his trips, he would brag and tell stories like an excited child. Another child, one who shared his last name, always looked forward to those stories. I may have been alone in the mansion, but Kuretsugu's stories always helped lessen that. Stretch, I can do that. They sound like a creaky door. Okay. Thank you for the stretch, Sultan. He was always pursuing a dream like a boy. I was weary of his whims, yet at the same time he always looked radiant to me. Maybe that's why I hope to be like him one day. I am so sorry if you can hear the rain in the background. It started pouring like 3 minutes ago and it's only getting worse. For those of you who need it, as stupid as it sounds, closed captions are available on Twitch. They can be accessed in the lower right-hand corner. There should be a CC icon you can toggle. This is probably the least needed stream for that, because I'm literally reading a novel, but it can be good for interacting if for some reason you can't listen in. If you can listen in, number one, thank you for being here. Number two, why are you here? But no, thank you. All right. That's why I hope to be like him one day. Well, as childish as I might have been, I realized I needed to get my act together, since I had an old man with his head constantly in the clouds. January 31st. Fate Stay Night. One day. I hear a sound. The heavy, rusted hinges on the doors creak as it's being pushed open. Light pours in through the crack in the door. My mind tries to shake off the slumber. Senpai, are you awake? I hear footsteps drawing near, and I feel the winter air flowing in. Morning, Sakura. Yes, good morning to you too, Senpai. Senpai, it's morning. It's still early, but Miss Fujimura will be mad if she finds you sleeping in here. Yeah. Thanks for waking me up, as always. There's no problem at all. You're always up early in the morning. I don't often get to wake you up like this. I'm not sure why, but Sakura looks more cheerful than usual. I don't know about that. I think you wake me up more often than you think.
What?
Wait, you were out there?
I wanted to water the plants.
What the? You don't need to. What do you mean you wanted to water the?
I wanted to make sure that the plants were in a place where they could get natural water. Instead of discarded bougie water.
You should probably take a shower.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, yeah, that's... Yeah.
Good thing is I don't have to water the plants now.
Alright. Yeah. Oof. Okay, it's fine. I should at least have a log now. So... okay. Or maybe I don't. Oh god. I don't know about that. I think you wake me up more often than you think. And again,
Your pants are now all complete, Mr. Royal Chubis. Laundry service. Stream on.
and then again, Fujini is brutal and she's the one waking me up, so I prefer you do it. Yep, I've learned my lesson. I'll try not to sleep in here next time. I answer, still half asleep. My head's still not right, so even I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. But personally, I prefer you not to try too hard. Sakura is giggling. Crap. I must still be so sleepy I've said something weird. Give me a minute to wake up. Cold winter air helps at a time like this. The chill snaps my lethargic mind awake, and in front of me stands my junior at school, Sakura Mato. I'm in my house's storehouse, and it's just about 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry, Sakura. I did it again. I need to help you with breakfast. Don't worry about that. You were up late again last night, weren't you? Then you should take your time this morning. I'll fix breakfast. Sakura is practically bouncing with excitement. That's odd. Sakura is weirdly energetic this morning. Oh no. I'm getting up, honest. So let's head to the kitchen together. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go, Sakura. Well, senpai? What? Is something wrong? No, not exactly, but, I believe you should change before you head back inside the house. Oh. I finally look at myself. I fell asleep working last night, so I'm still wearing my coveralls. The coveralls I wear when I'm working are usually dirty. Who knows what Fujini would say or do if I went into the house as is. Ugh. Okay. Guess I'm not quite awake yet. I must be more out of it than usual. You might be right. Which is why you should leave breakfast to me, and you should take it easy, senpai. Besides, Miss Fujimura would be really angry if she saw the mess here. Yeah. Then I'll get changed, so you go on ahead. Okay. I'll be waiting, senpai. Sakura quickly walks out. Okay, then. Change into my school uniform first. Then I need to collect all the parts I left scattered around. The storehouse is in this corner of the backyard, and all sorts of junk is crammed in here. Though, I've always liked to tinker with gadgets, so the place is a treasure trove to me. The old man forbade me to go into the storehouse, but I ignored his warnings and snuck inside almost every day. Now it's sort of a base for me. I guess you could call this place my real room. The massive Emiya house never felt homey to me, but I've always felt at ease in here, surrounded by all this junk. Besides, it's wasteful. It may be junk, but a lot of it still works. The majority of the things in the storehouse are everyday things, mostly unusable. I'm not sure whether I brought it all in because I liked it in here, or whether I liked this place because it was full of junk. Either way, I snuck into this storehouse almost daily, and I made a sort of a hobby of fixing broken things. I'm not the type who gets attached to things. but it just didn't feel right to neglect things that are still usable. Or maybe it would be better to say the idea of doing that just bothered me. Which is why I stayed up all night trying to fix a broken stove. I guess I'll be done tomorrow. Falling asleep midway is proof I'm not concentrating. I try to shake off my self-disgust at that. I gathered the parts for the stove and put them back on the shelf, things waiting to get fixed. There's no more room, though. Once I fix the stove, an old VCR is up next. Both of which were destroyed by Fujini. We can set that aside for now. Okay, then. I change into my school uniform. Since the storehouse is like my own room, I have all the essentials, including changes of clothes, in here. The rest are things like haphazardly drawn blueprints scattered all over the place and literal junk from my failed attempts at fixing various things. Also, there's some sort of pattern carved into the storehouse's floor, perhaps used as some sort of an altar in the past. Okay, gotta work hard again today. I clap my hands in prayer at the storehouse and turn towards the mansion. I walk from the storehouse to the mansion. This Emiya residence is a Japanese samurai-style house, located on the outskirts of town. My old man wasn't from a notable family, yet for some reason he owned this giant house. That in itself was a mystery, and it also seemed like he didn't have any relatives here in Japan. And so when my old man died, there was no one else to inherit this mansion, so it came to me as his adopted son. Though to be honest, I don't have any administrative abilities. So things like inheritance, property taxes, and any other complicated things are all handled by Old Man Fujimura. Old Man Fujimura is a major businessman who lives nearby. Kiritsugu described Old Man Fujimura as an old man who's like a Yakuza boss. Obviously, that was his own biased view. In fact, Old Man Fujimura is not like a Yakuza boss. He is a Yakuza boss. That may be a problem in itself, but I try not to dwell on it. Anyway, that's why I live in this giant mansion on my own. It's been 5 years since my old man died. Time sure does fly. I sigh, thinking about how much I've grown in those 5 years. I trained every day to become like Kiritsugu, but that's easier said than done. It's not surprising, since I didn't have what it takes from the start. But the fact that I haven't improved at all these past 5 years forces me to reassess things. Am I gonna lose power? I might. This is a... We'll see. If I do, well, I guess I'll cut it short for now. But... I'm not ending unless it, like, forces me to. So if I just randomly crash, it was the weather. I'm going to be quick saving a lot. Alright. If I had to sum up my current situation, I'd say I set the bar too high. I haven't even reached the starting line. No. Rushing won't do me any good. For now, I just have to do what I can. Okay then. What I need to do now is... Oh, I actually get choices? Neat. I thought this was like a kinetic novel. Alright. I'll go help Sakura. Right, I need to help Sakura. Making someone younger than me do all the work would be embarrassing. And I feel bad for Sakura coming here so early in the morning. But I'm too late. Breakfast looks to be done already. The appetizing scent of the breakfast Sakura cooked wafts towards me from the kitchen. Sakura finished cooking, and she's searching the cupboards for dishes. Sorry. I can at least serve everything, so go and sit down. Oh, you're already here, Senpai. It wasn't exactly quick. It's already 10 past 6, and that's when we're usually eating breakfast, so... Yeah, I overslept. I don't believe that's true. You're not in any school clubs, so it's still early. Clubs have nothing to do with it. And if they do, you coming by in the mornings must be a lot of trouble since you do have morning practice. Oh, well, I want to do this. So please don't worry about me. Yeah. You keep saying that, which is why I wake up early, club or no. If you're coming by, it'd be rude to still be asleep. To me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here. And oversleeping means I make Sakura prepare breakfast on her own, like today. Though this arrangement started only about 1.5 years ago. You sit, Sakura. The food just needs to be plated and set on the table, so at least let me do that. I stand next to Sakura and pull out the dishes. Sakura has a surprisingly stubborn side, so she won't rest unless I really push. Let me help. I'll plate the food, so please take out the rice bowls, Senpai. No, I'm saying I'll do it all myself. No, you shouldn't. You're the head of this house, so the least you can do in the morning is sit and act all important. Act all important? I wouldn't be much of a head of the house if I made you do all the work while I sit back, now would I? Come on, go and sit in the sitting room, Sakura. Oh, by all means, please be that kind of head of house. I'm also doing this to pay you back for all the delicious meals you let me eat, so I'd like for you to relax. Hey, we split the cost of groceries, so you shouldn't worry about that. In fact, I'm the one who should be thanking you. Ever since you started coming by, I've been eating a lot better. I knew it. You don't get it, do you, Senpai? That's not why your meals here are good. Huh? What do you mean? No, never mind. But please feel responsible, because I can't enjoy a meal anywhere else now. Alright, I do have a log now. Okay, good. That's a weird thing to say. What if Fujini heard that? She doesn't get sarcastic jokes. You're right. It wouldn't be great if Miss Fujimura heard that. I'm tweaking, sorry. Right. So don't say stuff like that. No, I won't. I won't say things like that. So I can help you. Right, Senpai? Sakura looks me in the eyes so naturally and calmly. Fine, do what you want. If you want to so badly, I'll have you do everything. Yes, I will do as I please. Honestly, you don't listen to anything I tell you anymore, Sakura. That's true. Maybe I'm becoming more like Miss Fujimura. She responds softly as she reaches toward the cupboard. Her dark hair gently falls over her shoulder, and the curves of her body catch my eye. I can't explain it, but it's awkward. I'm not sure if it's our age, but Sakura's been looking more feminine lately. Her casual movements or her profile are so pretty, and I inadvertently avert my eyes. Senpai? Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Hmm? Honestly, it's baffling. Why the hell am I getting nervous around my friend's younger sister? Sakura is just a really good and considerate younger friend of mine. She's someone I need to look after. She's the younger sister of a friend of mine. We used to be friendly, though initially we weren't very close since she's a grade below me. It was only 1.5 years ago that our relationship became more of what it is now. Sakura started to come and cook meals for me when I got hurt, and things kind of stayed like that. I think this arrangement was supposed to last until I got better, but I guess something or other happened, and somehow she ended up helping out with household chores. Either way, Sakura's a good cook, and her cleaning and laundry skills are perfect. Having her come early in the morning is a big help, but it's been disconcerting recently. Sakura isn't the problem. It's me. I'm sure being flustered by my friend's sister is part of the reason I feel guilty. Usually I'm unfazed, but when I blush because I get caught off guard like now, I wonder whether that's problematic as her senpai. Mojo? Is that Mojo under my bed? Hold on. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. My dog gets scared during the rain. Okay. Breakfast is lined up neatly on the table. A perfectly balanced meal of chicken with parsley salad, grilled salmon, blanched spinach, miso soup with radish and carrots, and grated yam soup. Thank you for the meal. Sakura and I sit down and bow and begin our meal in silence. The gentle tapping of chopsticks is the only sound in the room. Sakura isn't typically talkative, and I hardly have anything to chat about during meals. So, we eat in silence. Normally it's much rowdier than this, but the person who usually causes the commotion must have watched a spy movie or something last night, because she's eyeing the two of us through a newspaper she propped up in front of her food. Miss Fujimura, it may not be wise to read while you eat. Sakura remarks diffidently, but Fujini ignores her. Fujini's acting weird, but her being weird at breakfast isn't really all that weird for her. Sakura's used to it too. She's eating as if nothing's the matter. Sakura typically cooks up Western dishes. She really only began learning to cook Japanese dishes since she started coming here to help me out. Sakura learned to cook simple Japanese dishes, at least for breakfast, because Fujini and I prefer them. Now, Sakura's cooking skills have improved to the point she's better than me, and I'm the one who was teaching her. Her miso soup is flavorful and refined now, and she's even gotten to the point where she can grate yams to make yam soup. Actually, I think today's the first time she's served yam soup. Sorry, Sakura, could you pass the soy sauce? Here. Oh, hi, senpai. You've run out of the soy sauce you usually use. And I can use Fujini's. Pass it over. Miss Fujimura, do you mind? Fujini nods. The newspaper shuffles. Mojo! Oh, I need to make sure he's not eating anything under my bed. Hey, get him up on my lap. You're gonna use it for your yam soup? Yeah, everyone puts soy sauce on grated yams. Oh god, I'm flying. Oh god. Shh. I flew. I passed the soy sauce into another dimension. Thank you. I have flown, and I am no longer flying. Thank you. You've ridden Chubis Airlines. A line of soy sauce streams from the bottle into the grated white mound. I stir the mixture up, pour it over my rice, and take a bite. Stickiness of the grated yam combined with the intense flavor of the soy sauce. Is it soy sauce? It's oyster sauce. Fujini tosses her newspaper onto the table with an enthusiastic flick of her wrists. What do you think of my little stunt, switching the oyster sauce and soy sauce labels first thing in the morning? A not-so-mysterious spy punches the air in victory. It's a stunt like that, first thing in the morning. You were going to turn 25 this year, but you're still the same childish Fujini I've always known. That'll teach you a lesson after yesterday. You and everyone else who ganged up on me deserve divine justice. People can't enact divine justice. I knew you were weirdly quiet. Can't believe you've been plotting this since yesterday. You have entirely too much free time on your hands. That's right. And because of that, I really need to get to work grading tests. So I need to skedaddle, or else I'm in real trouble. Fujini sits back down and shovels her breakfast into her mouth. Thanks for the meal! Breakfast was great as usual, Sakura. It was my pleasure. And now I'm heading off. You two will be in trouble if you're late for school. Alright, I'm just saying, Fujimura's side profile is giving major Danganronpa V3 vibes. Oh lord. They could have done a little bit more remastering on that one. I know, like, they're trying to keep the early 2000s style of the art, and for the most part, like, it's been great. But that's really early 2000s. That's super early 2000s. That's like almost Toho tier. It's a little Toho-esque, actually. Alright, I'm fine. I'm good. And off she goes, stomping out in a rush. There's something terribly wrong with a world that allows someone like her to be a teacher. Senpai? Sorry that Fujini hardly saved the breakfast you took so much work into making. No, it's not that. What did you do to Miss Fujimura yesterday? She wouldn't usually go so far as to mess with someone's meal. Well, I accidentally called her by her nickname. Guess there's no avoiding her getting angry again. And you didn't apologize? Sorry. I forgot, but only because that kind of stuff happens all the time. Still not good. You know how much Miss Fujimura hates being called by her nickname. You made her cry again, didn't you? Not only did I make her cry, she also ran away like a scared rabbit. And thanks to that incident, yesterday's English class ended up being a study hall. In fact, everyone in the class worked together to make an award for me from their notebook paper because of that. I threw it away, obviously. Oh my. Sounds like you brought that on yourself then, senpai. Fujini is like an older sister to Sakura, so she's typically on Fujini's side. Which is fine on its own, but I wish she would consider the fact that I have to deal with Fujini all day long. Fujini was originally an acquaintance of my old man, and she's swung by the house pretty frequently since I was adopted. She kept on coming over even after my old man died. Now she acts like a freeloader, eating breakfast and dinner every day. Actually, it might have been thanks to Fujini that I was able to make it on my own after my old man died. And now, it's me, Fujini, and Sakura who are the residents of this Emiya house. But at the same time, I'm the only one who knows that my old man was a mage. They say mages have to keep that part of their lives secret, which is why I've also been hiding from others that I'm learning magecraft after I became my old man's apprentice. Learning may be a bit of a stretch, really, since I can barely use magecraft properly. so it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide magecraft or not. But since it was my old man's dying wish, I've been training in secret. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. I put away the dishes with Sakura as I listen to the news on TV in the background. Sakura is looking blankly at the TV. Oh no! Persona 4... Flashy caption reading, "Gas leaks continue," pops up on the screen. There seems to have been a big accident in the neighboring city of Shinto. It happened in a building in the business district. Apparently, everyone on one of its floors lost consciousness from oxygen deprivation. Authorities have been calling it an accident resulting from gas leaks, but for some reason, these incidents have been happening often. Are you worried about the incident, Sakura?